Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday encounter in the ordinary life of an ASB. As you have been following me at this point of time, I was talking about social anxiety pretty much on the different categories of what it is and how anxiety is defined as in my perspective, which I said also just to give a heads up of a couple of tips or guidelines and advice basically on this sort of thing. So now, on further ado, this is the last part of it hopefully, but then again it might be split into two for this part of the self-help and tips for people that are suffering with anxiety or just other, disorders that comes into play with this panic attack and disorders as well that I've shared with you. Let's be real and clear here, however. It's a disease. There's no cure. Basically, it can be an ongoing battle for most of us in our everyday lives, be it that we go through of our social anxiety and whatnot. Some of it can be there for life. Here's a hello with my AS. It's ongoing. It will be there for the rest of my life. Yes, anxiety can be manageable with the right treatments that's put into place that's best for us, that we can live a better life. But however, you got to realise that in the 1980s, as I mentioned, it was different than it is today about how people were diagnosed with anxiety and anxiety disorders. Obviously, were labelled as crazy, mental, stupid, and the like. Sometimes also they may be thought to be making it up in their head that they weren't suffering from anxiety when they know that's in their own perspective that they were, which is kind of sad, really. Sometimes basically also with that making up inside our heads, or with the anxiety or all these other disorders that I mentioned, of what we're going through, there is a certain level of intensity of all this, what we go through of that anxiety. As I said, some of it will go to the extremity of leading up to that panic attack sort of thing, which would be the worst case scenario, or even just basically a classic heart attack if we're too stressed out, putting our body into play and whatnot. But it doesn't matter really, because it's a sad and true fact, however, it is going on, and it's just the world we're living in now, that people just obviously think about themselves sometimes and they just don't think about others around them, which is kind of sad, really, because it's just the way it is. And sometimes the most cruelest and nastiest people around, of the cold-hearted people, could be our family that we turn to for help, or it could be our classic friends that we turn to for help also, which is another one. Panic and anxiety isn't based on our intelligences, shall we say. Yet you got to realise though, people with the high IQ, be it the people on the spectrum like IS and all that, do tend to be the ones that are likely to have more of these anxiety issues, because obviously we're the ones with the high IQ levels, we're the ones that tend to think and overanalyze and tend to, have all these clouded thoughts and patterns inside of our heads, trying to piece everything together when we shouldn't be, sort of thing. Another food for thought though, however, is basically, I thought to myself as I was sitting and writing this, as well as basically addressing this to you right now here on the screen to you, that while I'm openly sharing my life experiences with you all of these conditions and disorders, that to what I suffered from most of life, that I just hope that you won't have to go through it all as much as I have. Every single day and every single moment, because obviously with this anxiety, it does take over my life, but I'm, like I said, trying to learn to take control. I don't also wish this upon anyone of my, or even just the worst case scenario on the enemies that hates on me. No one should have to go through what I go through, and that even if I don't experience to a degree of what I've been through, sort of thing, you don't have a clue or any idea what I'm talking about until basically I've opened up and shared with you all my life journey with AS, depression, these disorders that I'm sharing with you of anxiety, and that this is my life story and journey to what I have opened up to you in my life. Obviously, as I said so many times before, take it or leave it. Anxiety is a sad fact of the matter. It does run in the family, however, in all family, big or small. Being able to cope and manage with our anxiety is crucial though, and important for all of us. So for anyone that suffers just like me, however, just be there for them, compassionate, understanding, patient, and try to be in their shoes equals empathetic. Never judge or criticise them and tell them it's their fault, or basically to hurry up and get a move on, or hurry up and get over it, or whatever the case may be, because obviously everybody who suffers from anxiety will take a level of maybe slower procedures to carry on their daily living. However, you've got to realise we're not alone. there are a lot of people that does suffer from anxiety, be it, you know, people like me or just normal people in general. And it's a sad world that we live in, obviously, because that we don't find the right support network. Obviously, many people tend to judge us for who and what we are, sort of thing. And it's just, you know, how it is. And many of us just tend to walk it away. This is a true statement, however, for me, as to what I've been through. I've done it on my own, alongside with the support and love of my parents and some of the right ones that I'm trying to let into my social circle, sort of thing. There's bound to be someone who will understand to what we're going through. Be it with me, I've been through it, I understand it, that's why I'm sharing my life story. It's just a matter of finding the right people, the right support network, and also basically, you know, after we find that particular someone that we can trust, there's a weight off our shoulders, and basically, you know, it's a light burden, regardless what it may be. I understand to what you go through, as I've enjoyed most of these conditions or disorders in most of my life. As I said, some of them are for life. But no matter what we go through, however, we should be able to find who we can trust and really be real about our story, you know. Everybody's got a story to create and share, sort of thing. Create a story and a legacy, put it that way. Sometimes it's okay to be selfish once in a while. Sometimes it's just alright just to tell ourselves, basically, you know, we need time out for ourselves, you know. Sometimes we just got to realise that we shouldn't be neglecting our needs just to please others and just put ourselves on the back burner, which is easy said than done for me, obviously, because I've been doing this for too long, putting myself on the back burner and looking out for others when I should at least fight the fight of standing up for what I believe in and actually, you know, be on my own if I have to, you know. Sometimes it's okay, basically, if, like, here's if we're in a relationship and that particular someone isn't gonna reciprocate to us by giving what we need at that moment of time, but if we just ask them for support, or a shoulder's crying, or having their shoulder, or if they're big enough, their chest, to just punch out our stresses and stuff if they allow it. But, you know, that's fine, you know. Stay strong and positive, however. Fight the fight, or whatever the fight it may be that we're facing. Be sure whatever fight we want to fight, though, and when to fight, it starts with us and ends with us with the choices we make. Pretty much. So basically, that's one part of the advice that I want to share you all before the treatments or therapies to help with this anxiety and all these other disorders that I'm going to bring about in the next one over, and hopefully that will conclude the series of basically anxiety and panic attacks. But part of me still feels to share with you a little bit more, maybe on panic attacks or something. I'm not sure. But if you want anything else based out of what I'm going to share with you all, give me the heads up. Private message me on Facebook. As I said so many times before, that Facebook is basically a place, hopefully, that will be safe enough for people not to be judged or criticised, or even just follow me on Twitter as well as Facebook. Other than that, just like, comment, sub to my channel. Pretty much, if you want to know more about all these updates that's coming up, sort of thing, of my, you know, journey blog of what I'm doing right now. So thanks for watching, guys, and your support, and I'll see you all soon.